Hi, my name is Justin O'Malley and I'm originally from New Zealand, but I serve here in the Great Lakes region as Director of Global Missions. So welcome Global Missions friends all around the world. What I want to share with you today is the ministry to movement model. My heart really is that around the world we have movements that have been effective to reach people for Christ. Let me just walk through the model with you and then talk through how you could use it in your campus context. So there are 4 steps to the ministry to movement model, and this has been really helpful for me as I was a national leader in New Zealand and now thinking through coaching teams around the world. The first step in the model is connecting the lost to Jesus. This is important. It's evangelism. Step 2 is life-changing discipleship, that we're meeting students and the work we're doing with them is changing their life to follow Christ. Step 3 is generating multiplying leaders. We want to trust the Lord that in each location there are students that are multiplying into other students' lives on their campuses. And step 4 is generating local resources. That campus, your context, you're actually generating the ideas, the finances, the people to reach that campus. So the 4 steps, all 4 of them are critical to a movement. You can't have a movement if you miss one step. Let me just walk through it again, and I want to share the difference between a ministry and a movement. Step 1 and 2 are critical ministry activities. So connecting the lost to Jesus, evangelism, and step 2, life-changing discipleship. When you start a campus or pioneer a campus, you have to do these things. They're critical. And even when you have an established campus ministry, you still do step 1 and 2. But as a movement grows, step 3 and 4 happen. Step 3 is generating multiplying leaders. So this is students who are actually doing step 1 and 2 on their campus. They're sharing the faith with others and they're discipling other students. So it's not staff workers only doing this, it's actual students on their campus. And then, like I shared before, step 4, that campus is raising the funds or the laborers, the people, or thinking through their own cultural ideas to reach their campus. So you could draw a dotted line between step 2 and 3. So evangelism and discipleship is ministry, and then raising up leaders, student leaders and local resources makes it a movement. Now, to think through different contexts of how you could use this, if you're a national leader in a country, you could think through, how do I coach my local teams through this model? And it's really powerful to sit down and go through those 4 steps and simply ask the question, are you a ministry or are you a movement? It's really life-changing, I think, for a team to think through that, or a group of students, like-minded believers, to work through that question. And if the answer is we're doing great ministry activity, the follow-up question is, well, how do we raise up multiplying leaders? How do we become a movement that's self-sustaining? Now, maybe you are a local campus team or a group of student leaders and you want to think through this model. You may say, well, we already have 5 to 10 leaders on our campus. We are a movement. Well, chances are on your campus there are areas you haven't reached yet. So you need to pioneer and do evangelism and discipleship in those areas on campus to raise up more multiplying leaders. And that's really the goal here, is to raise up national multiplying leaders. If you're a student leader, your campus may have a lot of leaders on it. Maybe there are other campuses in your city that you want to expand your scope to. Okay, so just reviewing the ministry to movement model, it's really a process. You never finish the process because there's more people to reach for Christ, but you could be thinking through whether it's a national leadership role that you have, a local leadership role, or as a student, how do you reach your context for Jesus, and think through how it's done culturally.